Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss one of the most serious topics in global security. Why Russia continues to be the biggest nuclear threat to the United States in 2025. Even with rising powers like China and new nuclear nations emerging, Russia's nuclear arsenal and strategy still overshadow other countries when it comes to nuclear threats. This isn't just about counting warheads, it's about strategy, technology, and global politics. So let's break it down step by step and understand why Russia holds this position. First, let's talk about numbers. Russia has approximately 5,460 nuclear warheads in total, and about 1,700 are deployed and ready for use. To put that in perspective, the United States has a comparable number but a bit fewer warheads. What makes this significant is that Russia's nuclear forces are diversified. They have intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and strategic bombers. This triad means they can strike from land, sea, and air. This capability ensures that Russia can launch a devastating counterattack, even if they are hit first, what's called second strike capability, which is crucial in nuclear deterrence. No other nuclear power currently has this combination and scale quite like Russia does. Now, what about Russia's nuclear doctrine? This is important because the number of weapons doesn't matter if the country's policy is strictly defensive. However, Russia's doctrine is somewhat ambiguous and allows for the possibility of using nuclear weapons if the country feels its existence is threatened. Since the Ukraine war began, President Putin has framed the conflict as a life-or-death struggle against NATO and the West. This perception makes nuclear escalation a scary possibility. The US Defense Intelligence Agency notes that Russia may consider using tactical nuclear weapons if they perceive an existential threat. This lowers the nuclear threshold, making a nuclear conflict more plausible than before. So it's not just about having nuclear weapons, but also about how Russia might use them. And that's what keeps them as the primary threat. Russia isn't standing still. They are actively developing new nuclear weapons and delivery systems. One of the most alarming developments is Russia's reported work on a nuclear-powered satellite capable of destroying other satellites. If true, this could undermine the US and NATO's space-based early warning and communication systems. They are also modernizing their strategic missiles to be faster, more accurate, and harder to detect. These innovations give Russia an edge in terms of surprise attack capability and complicate US defense planning. China is also developing its nuclear arsenal, but Russia's advancements combined with its size still keep it ahead in nuclear threat terms. Another big reason Russia remains the top nuclear threat is the collapse of arms control treaties that once limited nuclear weapons. Treaties like the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, INF, and the New START Treaty have either been abandoned or are at risk. Without these agreements, there are no effective limits on how many missiles or warheads Russia and the US can build and deploy. This encourages an arms race and increases the risk of miscalculations or misunderstandings that could escalate into conflict. The absence of verification and communication mechanisms heightens global instability. What does this all mean for the US? Simply put, America must maintain a credible and modern nuclear deterrent to prevent any nuclear aggression from Russia. The US is investing billions in upgrading its own nuclear forces and missile defense systems. At the same time, it's also about diplomacy and maintaining channels to reduce misunderstandings and risks of accidental escalation. The US faces a delicate balance between preparing for worst-case scenarios and working towards arms control and stability. To sum up, Russia's massive and modern nuclear arsenal, ambiguous doctrine, ongoing development of new nuclear technologies, and the collapse of arms control agreements make it the primary nuclear threat to the United States in 2025. Understanding these dynamics helps us appreciate the gravity of nuclear politics and the importance of global stability. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more clear, detailed explanations on complex issues.